The Chicago Bears could be getting some big time offensive line help in the very near future. What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bears update videos, which I'll be doing throughout this entire year. So if you guys want more Bears updates from me, more Bears content, subscribe to this channel. But we got a bit of unexpected Bears injury updates from left tackle Jason Peters, okay? And you guys know that Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, the Bears' entire organization, they really like to hide all the information they possibly can from the public for whatever reason, okay? I think it's really stupid, but we don't get many injury updates on, guys that are out, okay? So, like, for example, Tariq Cohen, we have no idea what's going on with him and his rehabilitation, right, from the torn ACL. We had no idea what was going on with Tevin Jenkins' injury or Larry Borum's injury either, okay? You guys remember Tevin Jenkins before the season, he had back surgery to fix a minor back issue that he had that I guess it was, obviously holding him back from playing at the beginning of this year. So they wanted to fix that back issue. He had surgery. We had no idea when he was coming back. Larry Borum, the other tackle that we drafted this year, he suffered a high ankle sprain in week 1 against the Rams. So up until this point, we had no idea when these guys were coming back. But it appears that left tackle Jason Peters in his press conference today, he leaked inside information on when these guys are coming back, and spoiler alert, it's some pretty damn good news. Okay, so according to Jason Peters, tackle Larry Borum is supposed to be coming back this week. So he's on the IR, as of the time of recording this video. But according to Peters, Borum is gonna come off the IR and be, eligible to play in the game this week, which is absolutely huge for the Bears offensive line, right? Because we still don't have Ifedi right now. Elijah Wilkinson was on the COVID list, so not totally sure if he's going to be ready to play in the next game. And we badly need a solution on the right side of the offensive line. At right tackle, we haven't been getting really good play out of anybody, okay? Ifedi has been okay, maybe so-so in most games, but he also hasn't been like a fantastic, stable option for us, right? So putting Larry Borum, the 5th round pick out of Missouri this year, into the lineup, which this guy, man, in the first game of the season, he played very well in the limited snaps that he got, okay? He held his own against Aaron Donald at one point. He did pretty well against the other Rams players too. So I'm personally very high on Larry Borum. This guy coming out of college, he was one of the best offensive linemen in the entire SEC. A lot of scouts had him ranked as a, second round prospect. So we really got a nice steal in the 5th round. And I think that he could be, really great for us in the future. Now, I don't know how good he's going to be in this rookie year. So far, the limited snaps that he got, he played pretty well in them. I don't know if that's going to translate to long-term success, but either way, man, he would be an upgrade over what we're getting at the right tackle position right now. I believe the Bears are trying to play him at left tackle this season, but with Jason Peters already doing pretty okay at the left tackle spot, and with Tevin Jenkins not being here yet, I would assume they would put Larry Borum at right tackle, which would give us a lot more stability on the offensive line for sure. But now going to the second part of news that Jason Peters leaked to us, Tevin Jenkins is also expected to be back in a few weeks on the Bears roster. Now, I don't know how long a few weeks actually is, but I'm assuming maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I know we have our bye coming up soon, so maybe right after the bye. But whatever case, man, it looks like we're going to have Tevin Jenkins for the final stretch of the season, for a good portion of the second half of the season, which when I heard that, guys, that made my entire day, okay? Because you guys know how high I've been on Tevin Jenkins. I thought he was one of the biggest steals of the entire 2021 draft class. I mean, I wanted this guy at pick number 20 if we weren't going to move up for a quarterback, but we got both Justin Fields and Tevin Jenkins, which I was super ecstatic about. So, seeing what happened to him over the offseason, seeing the, back surgery he had, that was obviously very disappointing for me and for all of Bears Nation, because we expected this guy to be our starting left tackle this year, but it seems like he's recovered pretty well and he's going to be ready to, maybe play in a few weeks. Now, I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, because I still think that Jason Peters hasn't been that bad at left tackle for us. Obviously, he's getting older. He's, a little bit injury prone too, but he's stayed pretty healthy for us. He's been pretty reliable for the most part for us, not giving us, elite left tackle player or anything, but he's still been good enough to the point where he has not been the main problem on the Bears offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see how they split playing time now going forward, with Tevin Jenkins returning to the lineup, with Larry Borum coming back as well, because I'm assuming they want to develop both of these guys, because these are probably our tackles, our left and right tackles of the future. But regardless, man, getting these guys back is a huge boost for our offensive line. Okay, our offensive line has been struggling as of late. You guys saw against the Bucks, they got completely destroyed. That was mainly because we had a fourth string guy at right tackle, so that's obviously going to hurt you, you know, at the tackle position. But you know, all across the board, man, we haven't been getting like great play out of our offensive line. So to see the guys that we drafted pretty early in the draft this year, right? Like we traded up for Tevin Jenkins. We used our third pick, which was in the 5th round this year, on, you know, Larry Borum, a guy that a lot of scouts, a lot of people are high on. So getting them back obviously is huge, not only for this year, but also for the future as well. Okay, to get them comfortable with Justin Fields. Okay, if Justin Fields has these guys for the next 4 or 5 years, you know, it's going to benefit him to get as much playing time as possible with these guys this year as he develops. Okay, obviously 2021 is not about winning a Super Bowl. It's not about going deep in the playoffs. It would be nice if we could do that, but we're not expecting a contending team this year. We're expecting us to develop our young players, specifically on the offense. Guys like Larry Borum, Tevin Jenkins, maybe even Khalil Herbert, obviously Justin Fields. We have a lot of young guys on the roster, and they need to be developing this year and taking steps forward, and getting these tackles back, man, that's going to be huge in doing that. Now, keep in mind, these guys are still rookies, so they are going to make some mistakes. They're not going to be perfect by any means. They're, you know, going to have some struggles here and there, but I still think that with how good these guys were in college, with what they showed in the preseason, at least what Larry Borum showed, and what Larry Borum also showed in the regular season, the few snaps he had, you know, against the Rams, I really feel like this could stabilize our offensive line to some extent. Now, obviously, in the middle, we still don't have an NFL caliber center on this roster, man. Sam Mustipher has struggled a lot throughout this entire year. He just doesn't have the strength or the power to match up against some of the better interior defensive linemen. He always gets pushed backwards. He's getting dominated at the line of scrimmage. So that's really hurting our offensive line. I would like us to make a change maybe there. Maybe move Whitehair to center. Maybe put Bars at guard then. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could try, but I really don't want to see Mustipher in the starting lineup going forward. But we'll see what the Bears do, man. I mean, I'm just really happy to get these tackles back because they're going to be a big part of the Bears' future. Now, I do have to say it's pretty funny that this news is coming from Jason Peters, from our left tackle, and not from our coaches, not from our GM, because it really shows you like how backwards the Bears organization can be with the media, with everything they do. Like this, the Bears are just one of the most backward organizations ever. Like, why not just give the fans, give the media updates on what's happening injury-wise, because it's not gonna, like, what advantage are you gonna lose with that? Okay, your offense already sucks. Your offense can only score 15 points a game. You're not gonna be giving up any advantage by letting us know when injured players are coming back. So respect to Jason Peters, man, for giving us this info, for, you know, telling us what he knows, because otherwise we would have no idea when any of these guys are coming back. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, guys. Very good news for the Bears offensive line going forward. Let me know your thoughts down below, but as always, bear down.